Hey, what's up? Let's keep it simple, Stuman family out there, student workers of all kinds. Thanks for working with kids, loving kids, and leading your volunteers really well. We're glad you're back. If you're new to the channel, there's lots of things to look at in the past that feel free to take a look, from managing your time to writing messages to doing different events. So check those things out. There's some games up there that you're free to take and use for your group. We're here to help. Just quick before we get into today's topic, talk about what's coming up in the next few weeks here on the channel. We're going to do a couple session series on how to connect with your lead pastor, and we're also going to talk about some different ways to connect with students, and that's partially what today's video is about. And also, we're doing Color Wars pretty soon here in the next couple weeks, and so we're going to produce a video that I'm just going to show you in part how to run that event for your summertime. So that's what's coming up here on the channel in the next few weeks. But today, we're going to talk about connecting with students. Now, it seems like if you're a student worker, this should be sort of a no-brainer, right? But connecting with students intentionally takes some thought and also takes some planning, especially if you don't want to frustrate your spouse, your boss, or parents. So 3 T's of connecting with students. Here we go. Check it out. All right, the first T of connecting with students is time. First of all, kids spell love T-I-M-E. So the first part about time is it's going to take time. You're going to have to schedule time, carve out time in your schedule to spend time with students. Not necessarily one-on-one, but in smaller groups, in different places, and in different ways. And so kids spell love T-I-M-E. It's about spending the time. Also recognize that students don't have the same schedule as you. They're in school a lot of times when you're in the office, so you can't always expect to spend time with them during your workday. You're going to have to carve out time to spend time with them that are not business hours. Now that means you need to talk with your senior pastor or your supervisor and carve out ways to make up that time, to maybe leave a little bit early on a certain day to spend time with a student in the evening time. Maybe it's spending time with a parent or a family during a sporting event, things like that. You're going to have to work intentionally on that and recognize that you're going to have to spend time outside of your 9 to 5 to connect with students and carve out significant time. You can do quick hits. You can show up for the last quarter of a basketball game. You don't stay for the whole thing. But sometimes it's a long lunch. Sometimes it's having a group of students over to your house for dinner with your family. Different things like that. It takes time, and it takes time to build that trust with students and parents. So time's a really important part. The second T is turf. You're going to need to hang out on their turf, which means if you can, get on campus. We're in a particular context here where we aren't really permitted to be on campus in our current context, and so we've had to get a little bit creative. So what I do is every other week, I actually will pick a place near the high school that they go to eat. So it's a pizza place, a burger place, Subway, something like that. And I'll just say, hey, the first 10 people to show up are going to get free lunch. And so we buy lunch for a group of people and their friends. We hang out. I sit there the whole time. We talk about whatever they want to talk about, and we just spend time. And that has actually that's bared a lot of fruit in that we're building trust with kids who maybe wouldn't step through the doors of our student ministry or come to our church the first time, but as they get to know me and they begin to trust me, those invitations become much more effective, and we've seen students show up with that. So turf is really important. Now there is one campus in the town next to us that I can get on. One of our elders is a superintendent, so that's really nice. And so that's been great. I go there every other week. I play basketball. Sometimes I bring pizza. It's really great, and we've seen a lot of students come from there just because they trust me and they trust our team, and so that is important. But being on their turf is important. Showing up at their sporting events. We had a student who won an essay contest and was recognized at the County Board of Education, and there was an award ceremony. So we went, and so we showed up on their turf to make sure that them and their parents knew that we cared. So time, turf, and then the third one's topic. And here's a great story I have to illustrate the importance of this. So I'm not a huge comic book person, though I do love all the Avengers movies. But I haven't read the comic books. I'm not into the backstories and stuff. If you want to know about Lord of the Rings, I'm your guy. I know all the names of all the swords. It's great. But as far as comic books, I'm not there. And I know a lot of our students are into that. I had a student a couple years ago, his name was Tyler, and he was super into the comic books, whether it's Marvel and DC, and we were at a corn maze. And so I kind of got on his team with a couple of guys and me, and we were talking and trying to figure out a way to get to know this guy, Tyler. young student, ninth grader, and so I asked him kind of some questions about what he's interested in and everything, and I discovered that there were some things about comics that I didn't know, and so I just started asking questions, and I let him, over the course of about an hour, walk me through the entire Green Lantern backstory. And there's orange lanterns and red lanterns, and they mean different things. And all this to say is, I let him be the expert and educate me on the topic, and he felt like he was the smartest person in the world, and I soaked it all up. At the end, do I really care about it? No, I don't. But it was a great way for me to connect and build trust. And so I got to know the topics that are more important to him. We have a couple students who play polo on horseback for real. I've gotten to know what polo is about. I got to learn their topic, and so I can speak with them in some measure of education about the topic that's really important to them. And so kind of being able to learn about people and what makes them tick and what they're interested in really is helpful, so I can talk to a lot of different groups of students. Now, do I care really? Like, am I passionate about Green Lantern or polo? No, I'm not. But I am passionate about the students who are passionate about those things. And so I've taken time to get to know some things about the topic. Sometimes it means Googling something, look on Wikipedia, but learn about the topic. So, time. Kids spell love, T-I-M-E. You need to carve it out, plan it out, talk with your supervisor, your spouse about when you meet with students. Turf. You need to get on their turf, whether that means on their campus, at their sporting events, at their recitals, different things like that. When you show up, it's important to them. And the third one is topic. Learn about the things that they care about. You might be old and don't feel like you care about anything that they care about, but learn anyway. It shows that you care. It shows that you take an interest. And for a lot of our students, there's not many adults who aren't paid or have to care about them, like teachers and parents. They feel like, well, they have to care. You don't have to care. You care because you care. And so that is really powerful. So connecting with students, that's a couple T's on connecting with students. Hopefully you do that really well. But like I said, it takes time and intentionality to do those things, to do it well. And so hopefully this is helpful to you. So God bless you guys in your ministry. Have a great one.